Since the dawn of man, we are born, we live our lives, and we die. Or do we? Walk with us, because we have found the key, and the doorway has been unlocked.
Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about some pretty scary subjects. But before we go any further, speaking of scary subjects, we have a special guest. We are pleased to announce we have my fellow ghost hunter and best friend, Professor Greg T. Pejsar, in the house.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here with my ghost hunting pals.
Hey, welcome, Greg. Thanks for joining us.
It's nice to be here.
All right. Well, today, Terry, we're talking about the kids are not all right.
No, they are not. They are not.
And what should we do about the children, Terry?
Well, who doesn't love a little kid, you know?
True. Yeah.
I mean, there are some people out there, but we've heard so many accounts of people being haunted, for lack of a better term, by ghost children. And these are ghosts that appear to be very helpless, small children. The accounts are always the same. They see this child dressed in a white gown, always white. And once in a while, it's maybe period clothing, but there again, always the ethereal white. Yeah. And it could be a boy or a girl. We've heard both.
Yeah.
And they seem to be in duress. They're very sad. They need help. But also, in tandem with this sighting, is a very large, menacing, dark shadow type of entity. And we've heard of everything from like almost a shadow person account to very large, 8 foot tall, menacing, and the person who is taking this all in is terrified, but yet they want to help that child. Oh, that child, they're drawn to it. And who wouldn't be?
Well, yeah, because your instinct would be to protect the child.
Exactly. However,
do these children appear to be normal babies, or are they?
Yeah, I mean they're human in form. They're not. We have heard accounts of baby ghosts, but it's usually audio, a baby crying.
Yeah.
But these actual sightings, these are children anywhere, I would guess, from maybe 4 to 12. And
okay.
But their appearances are always relatively the same. Now,
period clothing.
Sometimes they're, you know, Shawn, you've heard it.
Yeah.
There was one that we went to where it was a fire station, had been a fire station.
Yes.
And,
way downtown.
Yeah. And several people had accounts of seeing a small boy dressed like it was 1900s. And we've heard this, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Before.
Quite a few times.
But the majority of these accounts, and not just from what we've been told ourselves, but researching, they're white gowns, like baptismal gowns or burial gowns, shrouds, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because we've heard these accounts, but this is an international, multicultural sightings.
Yeah.
We around the world, there have been accounts of these ghost children to the point where it's like, my God, when a child dies, do they automatically become a ghost? Well, God, we don't want to even think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But an interesting account is in Sweden, where ghost children are called mayerlings,
Mayerlings.
and they're not pleasant. The theory is these are spirits of children that died unbaptized
Oof.
or not properly buried. And they look appealing to the point where unsuspecting people give them shelter, bring them in, and then mayhem.
Which reminds me of the movie Let the Right One In.
Exactly. In theory, these children have been dumped in the devil's playground. So, that being said, when we have been faced with these accounts, we did a little research. It's like, wow, all these dead children, it's horrible.
Can I interrupt there? And why don't I play for the folks what we have, one of many of what we have of children in that same vein that you're speaking of, that are they okay? Are they not okay? Should we approach? Should we not approach? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that after we watch this.
All right.
Running a picture. Running a picture. Running a picture. Running a picture.
So that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It's the singing is kind of maybe a draw, like drawing an adult into.
Well, it's definitely a child. And it's not a child that's crying. It's more of a
Like playful.
Playful. It's not terrifying.
Right. So is part of this a cautionary tale?
Yes, I would. In the theory that we've formed is this child is basically bait. It is the candy out of the back of the van. And the big dark entity, is that who this child is working for, luring you in? Or I'd like to think that this dark entity is scaring you away.
Maybe helping you or telling you to avoid.
Because if you recall some of the accounts we've had, I really felt compelled to, kind of help this child, but that thing was so scary. I had to get out of the room.
Now, Greg, you had seen photographs that we've taken and heard the EVPs. What is your thought on what this could possibly be, or any kind of a warning, or maybe a lure?
I would, my first thought would be that it's kind of a lure, that a young child who seems to be in distress, you want to help. And that just is instinctual. I mean, that's something that's kind of bred into us to help that child. And I find it interesting, Terry's take on I hope that shadowy figure in the corner is there to kind of like, oh, no, you don't want to do that. Go back. Because I think it probably would. I think the first thing you would think of is if you went forward and grabbed that child, you're going to be engulfed by something much larger and nastier and meaner, whereas the nasty, mean thing might be that little, paranormal urchin down there. So.
Because it may not... talking to people who specialize in eradicating, which we do not. Right. In other words, men of the cloth.
Right.
They caution that demons like to take forms of anything that will be sympathetic to their subject, like a dead parent or a brother or a friend or a child, because it's luring, and it gives a false sense of, oh, I'm connecting to the other side. It's my loved one. They're showing me they're okay.
Right.
But that may not be the case.
It's kind of how I feel too. And of course, I'm the giant chicken shit. So any of that just kind of throws me off like big time. It just scares the holy bejesus out of me. With that fear, let's move on to another place we investigated. Tom Becka was kind enough to have all of us on for a special around Halloween.
So
yes.
Tom was a local radio talk show host.
Yes.
With that, for those of you that might be
Absolutely.
in another state or country,
Thank you.
on a very large, famous radio station in Omaha that I think this year is celebrating its 100th anniversary.
It is.
That was a 100,000 watt?
Something it's
something
like the
huge.
fire plug of the place.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a very storied radio station, and he had invited us on
Yes.
to talk about these kind of things, and invited us to the radio station to do a
Investigation.
EVP session there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry for interrupting.
No, actually, thank you. Here is what we heard, and it is another child.
And we have unfinished conversations. And we have unfinished conversations. And we have unfinished conversations. And we have unfinished conversations.
So it's another child singing. Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. And dear listeners, we did not hear that with our ears, just to clarify that.
Nope, because I'd have been running.
It was probably, 2:15 in the morning. The place
Yeah.
was just deathly quiet.
Yes.
One individual there that worked overnight was kind of our guide as what was going on.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, that's another child, and that's kind of another singing is almost a lure. Speaking of the gentleman that was our guide, he was trying to explain some of the unusual noises that he heard, and we caught another EVP that seemed like they were trying to explain what he was trying to explain. Let's play that.
But it wasn't. It was like this, but it sounded like it was coming from the other side of the room. Sorry.
So again,
But it wasn't. It was like this, but it sounded like it was coming from the other side of the room. Sorry. But it wasn't. It was like this,
it
but it
almost,
sounded like it was coming from the other side of the room. Sorry.
sorry, jumped on the audio there. It sounds like there's like the explanation of what he's trying to do.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
contradictory. Like, no, it was like this.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Greg, you had mentioned earlier, it sounded like multiple.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like an older woman saying, "Oh, it was," and then there was a kind of a lullaby tune that almost sounded younger, and then a response after that. So it was pretty interesting, and I was there. I did not hear that. I did not hear that.
We did not.
But
no.
but that being said,
Yeah.
that location was not at all had no stories of anything malevolent or any accounts of people feeling threatened.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like, we know something's here, we just want to know more about it. We're fine with it, but and I would say that building was haunted, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
no one would run out screaming from there. Now, the previous child's voice we captured, you betcha.
It seemed
That location was very dark.
It looked a lot like the little video you had there, which was
it actually did. It looked a lot like that.
dark and
It was
very, very creepy.
Very dark and somewhat nefarious. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to us today, and my talented partner Shawn, always, he makes it run, and our special guest.
You're not so intelligent, partner.
The other guy in the room.
Well, we like to call him the professor. So, awesome. Thanks, everybody.
You're listening to the best mysteries and phenomenon the Midwest has to offer. This is The Doorway. For comments on tonight's show, go to mapsomaha.com.